Hello everyone.
Hello guys.
Welcome back to our Linkath Kopi podcast.
Welcome. And guess what? Today's Friday. Woo!
Oh yeah, for those of you who might be listening on the actual day or a different day, TGIF, FYI. It's Friday. We are feeling, the Friday mood. The weekend's coming. We have plans.
So happy.
Yeah.
We're so happy.
We're so happy to be able to, switch off for just a few days and then come back on Monday to Friday once again. So of course, not to say in celebration, of course, to mark this occasion of TGIF and in spirit of Fridayness, today's topic is going to be about how do we spend our weekends and how do we spend it wisely.
Right. So as you can see from the title, it's actually we're gonna talk today on how do you spend your weekends wisely. So weekends are, for me, the best time of the week because they're just filled with so much potential. They're basically 2 free days for you to do anything and everything that you want to do that you usually can't do in your weekdays.
True that. I mean, the weekends, that's basically your get out of jail free card.
Yep, precisely.
Yeah. If you think of Monopoly, that's your get out of jail free card for 2 days. And then after that, back to prison. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not prison, of course. Work can be enjoyable too. Let's not get so depressed, especially on a Friday like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's make it all sunshine and rainbows this time.
Yep, in the spirit of Friday. Right, Aaron. So, how do you normally spend your weekends?
Well, usually with our work, we do quite a lot of stuff. So on the weekends, I would prefer to, of course, switch off, just do almost nothing. Not to say nothing completely, of course. It's like almost nothing. Maybe I'll just sleep a little longer, wake up naturally without an alarm clock bothering me. And then have my brunch. And then after that, in the afternoon, maybe I will meet some friends, chill with them. Just talk normal stuff. Or if I have other, side projects, I'll do side projects, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah, anything to just, nothing related to work per se over here.
Right.
So like allocate my time to other things. Be it very normal stuff or, more ambitious stuff.
Right, so I think I have the same drill as you as well. So normally on weekends, I sleep a little extra more. But I still wake up early because I'm so used to waking up early in the weekdays anyway. So I still wake up early, then I exercise, spend time with family, have breakfast with my family, meet some friends, play some computer games, basically have a chilled downtime. Yeah, basically weekends are my downtime for me. So that's what I usually do.
Okay, the only thing is, I guess, you wake up very early as well. I
Yeah.
mean, you still wake up early even though it's not a working day, but you still wake up as if you're going to work.
Yeah, so normally I wake up at around 7:30
Oh
or
god.
8.
Oh my god. Seriously? Eesh. I wake up probably around like maybe the earliest I've woken up without an alarm.
Right.
Well, ironically, sometimes it's 7 something or 8 something as well. But for the most part, I will just let myself sleep until like 9 or 10 something.
I see.
A little bit longer. The worst one was, I think I woke up around 11 something. That was when,
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed to sleep that much, but sometimes it can happen.
Right.
And when I do sleep that much, usually when I wake up, yeah, you hardly feel sleepy or whatever. You have plenty of energy and whatnot. Even when it's 9 to 10 a.m. as well. But for you, wow, waking up at 7:30 is still... this is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call the workaholic's disease, the worker's disease.
Well, that's because I think it's good that I wake up early because I feel like I have more hours in the day. So, I'm able to do, well, for me, it's how I perceive it lah. So I feel like I have more time to do the things that I really want. So, and if I start the day early, then I can then plan on as, how I want my day to go lah. And because there are usually a lot of things for me to do in the weekends, so I'd like to be up a little bit more early and then have some downtime and then on and plan like how many hours am I going to do this, what am I going to do with my family, and etc. and etc. Right, so the first tip I have for our listeners today, okay, who's wondering, right, how am I going to spend my weekend wisely? So the first tip I have for you today is to pursue a passion.
Oh god. I mean, pursue a passion, but it's like, no, I'm just listening back to what you say. It's like you plan your weekends like it's so meticulous. It's like wake up early, do this, and then after a few hours, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's like you basically filled up your whole calendar, and then it's like, it's almost so religious the way you explain it. It's like, it's almost like a working day. It's like you wake up, okay, you have your breakfast, you drive to work, then okay, I have this thing to do, this and that, this and that, this and that. And then it's like, okay, you do it. Then you go back, blah, blah, blah. And then on the weekend, it's like, it's still the same thing. The only difference is it's not about work, but it's about other things. But the process is still the same. You are meticulously planning one by one, making sure, it doesn't go off track, blah, blah, blah. Is that true?
Well,
is that how you plan it?
It's not per se. Well, I don't exactly like figure out the details, like, okay, like from 9 to 10 I'm gonna do this. So it's more of a rough sketch of how, the day is gonna be like maybe the sequences of things I'm gonna do. But that's pretty much it. I don't go beyond that. But why I say that, so what keeps me going in the morning to want to plan my day is because I have a few hobbies and I have a few interests that I really like to do that I don't have the time in the weekdays. So knowing that I'm allocating time to each and every of my hobbies and interests gets me going and gets me energetic throughout the entire day.
Oh my god. Your weekend schedules make mine look so chilled.
Yeah.
Mine's so chill. It's like I don't really plan too much. I mean, maybe I have like 1 or 2 plans, but they might even change. It might not even happen.
Right.
I might just call it off in general. I'll just wake up whenever I want. Oh, okay, it's lunchtime. Oh, then I have no idea where to go to lunch. So usually I'll just ask like my family, whatever. Like, where are we going? Then they'll ask me back. I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Right.
And then I will ask the same question again. I have no idea.
Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go? Then it's like, and then after a while, then we just sort of, that's that place. Okay, let's just go there. Let's just eat. Then after that, we go back, just sit in the house, just chill.
Right.
Like almost Zen-like in a sense, I guess. It's like you just chill.
Right.
Self-reflect, you enjoy yourself. Meditate a little bit maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatnot, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Keep things very low, no need to pressure yourself, no need to do high intensity stuff unless, you're dating, then maybe... it is a bit more planned. You do plan a bit more because another person is involved, but usually otherwise...
Not much planning.
It's pretty chill, it's just just switch off completely. Yeah. I prefer it that way. Just switch off completely, don't have to bring the same habits that you do at work. Otherwise, it's like I just left the Monday to Friday routine. I don't need to apply the same approach to my weekends. I just want to switch off, literally just switch off, and then if I sleep for a long time, then I'll sleep for a long time.
Right.
Because that's the only time I'm able to do that. Otherwise, on Monday to Friday, imagine if I did that, well, I wouldn't have a job today anyway. So.
Well, that actually brings us to our second and third point, which was what Aaron was saying. So the weekends are a great time for you to unplug because Monday to Friday we're being connected 24/7, and being connected all the time to our devices, our technology, our mobile phones, etc., it just burns you out, by the end of Friday. And for some people out there, you might be in a work situation where you have to tune in to work even on the weekends.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it sucks, but anyway, sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, well, that's life happens.
Right. So for you guys, what you can do is perhaps you could talk to your superiors, and if you could negotiate with them to see if you could get certain hours off. So sort of like find a win-win with your superiors.
Well, of course, you need to find a win-win. Otherwise, your weekends is no different than a weekday. So
right.
I mean, work happens, life happens. We can't avoid that. It's not like we can just neglect them. But of course, when it has to happen, then try to find ways to still give time for yourself because it is the weekends.
Precisely,
that's the best. That's your best shot of getting some me time.
Right.
You won't get it on the weekdays, or at least for the most part, other than when you come back from work. But by then your energy will be spent. So at least on the weekends you have some energy. You can do some higher intensity stuff that you really want to do.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you can say it that way. And of course, one of it could be, spending just with friends and family. It doesn't have to be like you plan so much, like I'm going to go rock climbing, skydiving. I'm gonna date 100 women or something. Or for women, it's like I'm gonna date 100 men or something. It's like, nah, it's like you don't have to do all this crazy bucket list stuff or whatever.
You
Just-
can.
You can if you want. If that's what
can.
if that's what keeps you going. If like jumping off of a plane, if a parachute is your kind of thing, like Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise,
Do it.
go ahead, do
Go
it.
ahead and do it, guys.
But
Go
for the most of
crazy.
us, usually it's just spending time with friends and family because during work days you don't get to see them a lot.
Yeah.
But
that's
on the
true.
weekends you have all that time in the world to see them. If of course you have that time and you're not working.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. So definitely, weekends. Like what Aaron said, definitely weekends are a good time for you to focus on your relationships with your family and your friends. So never neglect them because they are a huge part of your life. And if you don't do it now, there might be an opportunity. There might come a time in the future where you wouldn't have the chance to do this anymore. So spend time with your loved ones. And well, the other point that I have for our listeners, the other thing that you can do during the weekends, now that you have some spare time, is to volunteer. So, it could be for any causes or any societies that you personally have an emotion for, you personally relate to. So, you could be volunteering at Zuchi, or you could be volunteering at Ramakrishna. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, when you volunteer and when you spend time doing volunteer work, studies have shown that people who volunteer in their communities and actually help out by putting in their effort, they actually displayed increased growth and personal well-being. And it sort of like gets them into perspective as well, because when you see people, because we tend to think that oh shit, the world's ending, oh shit, my life is bad, oh shit, things can't get any worse. But when we volunteer, we tend to see people whom are doing a whole lot worse than we are, and they would still be really, really happy with their lives. So seeing them actually gets us in perspective and gets us to be more grateful of the things and the blessings that we have in our lives.
I completely agree. It's very important because if you imagine like Monday to Friday during your work weeks, it very much feels like a capitalistic kind of life. It's like it's capitalism, free market. You're just working and working for the money, hustling for the money.
Yep.
Doing everything for the money, and then working for careers, money, ambition. Everything is very
Right.
high adrenaline. It's so intensified.
Right.
And when the weekend comes in, it's like you can sort of switch a little bit off from the capitalistic way of life, and then head towards something a bit more giving.
Yeah.
Something a bit more like that gives to
Give
other
back
people.
to the community. Yeah.
Give to other people without expecting something in return.
Right.
It sort of fulfills you. It nourishes your soul.
It nourishes the soul.
Yes,
precisely.
It's food for your soul. It's beverage for your soul. So because sometimes when you do good stuff, well, you feel good because you know that this is good for other people. So you feel good about yourself. Yeah. So because in work, sometimes you can feel good or whatever, but there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of here and there things that in work things happen. But when you volunteer, you do whatever. It's very simple. You're giving something, you're not expecting something in return. In work, you usually will expect something in return, but
when you volunteer, you're not doing that.
Yeah, you're completely giving something
Yeah.
out. And when you see people happy, or when you help out people, it doesn't have to be something so deliberate like going to soup kitchens or whatever. It can be as simple as like taking your parents out, taking a girlfriend or boyfriend out, whatever. It's still technically giving.
It's still
as
giving.
As long as subconsciously and consciously you are giving something out and you don't expect anything in return,
That's
then
good.
it's
That's good for your soul, guys.
And of course, it helps that the other party gives something back to you, but it's not something that you ask for. It just happens naturally, a byproduct of your giving attitude.
Right.
So that should be something that happens, and it will fulfill you. And then in that weekend, it will really calm things down. And then when you go back to work on Monday, you'll feel a lot better. At least it cuts off the Monday blues significantly.
Precisely.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
Precisely. I think if everyone in the world is more giving and more grateful, the whole world would be a more happier place to live in, as a whole.
Definitely, that's the whole point of it. That's why the weekends are there. You have that 2 days to really, not to say make it count, but that 2 days to really, live the way you really want to live, in a sense. Of course, not like, spending money so much until it's like consumer materialistic world, but keep the balance, find that balance. And of course, it's also a good time when you volunteer, you do whatever. If you are like me, you like to do almost nothing on your downtime. It's a good time to also it's a good time to get into a Zen mood, self-meditate a little, or maybe if you're not into that, just reflect. Yeah, reflect about how your days went, how Monday to Friday went, or what are you planning to do in the future.
Right.
These things are really important, and it helps.
Yeah, because in the weekdays, it's like what we mentioned earlier, right? Because in the weekdays we barely have the time to sit down with our thoughts because we're so tired working and etc, doing other things, living the motions and living on with our lives. So the weekends actually give you more time to actually sit down and reflect and actually ponder upon your current state of life. Are you currently happy with how things are going? Do you think there are things that you could be doing that would make your week better? So just take some time during the weekend to actually sit down and just express yourself out on paper and see what comes out. And if you've got more time, even plan your week out and plan how would you want your next week to be better than the week that you've been through.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, not to plan so, not to over plan things, not to make it so rigid and plan until it becomes stressful. That's not the whole point, because sometimes planning can be stressful. We're not asking you to do that. We're just saying, get a rough idea on what you want to do. That's it.
Yep.
It's like you have that plan and then put it to one side.
Yep.
And then just let things happen as it is. If the plan doesn't work out well, it's fine. I mean, some things still happen. So life is unpredictable, and you can't control a lot of things outside of yourself. So
of course,
that's where reflection comes in. That's the one thing you can control.
Right.
Your own thoughts, your own behavior, and everything. So you just reflect, think about things, think about what you want to do, or just calm yourself down, love yourself. So yeah. I know I'm being very, how to say,
zen.
Yeah, that's a very zen. Not to say a very zen.
Being
thing.
very
it's just
zen,
a very
Aaron.
Yeah, whatever. If it's a zen thing or not, whatever. That's how I live, and that's how I will live. So, that's how I do it. You can either accept it or not.
That's fine. That's Yep.
Got a problem with that? No.
Well, no
problem. Good. So that's how it is. Spend your weekend reflecting.
Right. So ultimately, guys, it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands as to how you want to spend your weekends. So the message that we want to leave with you today and now is to take charge of your time and go forth and do the things that you want.
Of course, remember to pursue, go very hard, and do the things you want to do. I believe we've said enough. I mean, the weekend is coming. What more can we say? TGIF.
So once again, happy TGIF, guys. And I think it's time for us to conclude our podcast for today.
Yeah, it's time to conclude our podcast. Oh, do we have anyone to shout out to this today?
Right, so we could... so the sponsor for today is actually Linkath.com. So we're actually Linkath Kopi. So we're actually gonna, since it's Friday, and we love Linkath so much because we are working in it. But honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we love Linkath. So we're gonna shout out this episode to Linkath.com. So Linkath is an online shopping destination. When you have the time, do check them out. You could check them out over the weekend as well when you have some spare time. Because what better way to spend the weekend than to shop, right? So that's Linkath, and do check them out.
Yeah, check them out, and of course, enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekends, folks.
Yep. So today's still Friday, so make sure you prepare all your work and finish it, and then once it's all done, you can scream, you can shout, you can rejoice, you can pop the beverage and start celebrating.
Right. And remember, keep safe. We have an announcement actually, so we won't be seeing you on Monday.
Oh yes, I know, it's a bummer. If let's say you're listening to us today, which is on a Friday, this coming Monday we won't be around because work stuff, we have extra stuff to do, and we won't be around. We won't have enough time to really record the podcast on Monday and show it to you guys. But it's okay, we'll be back on Tuesday. We should be back on Tuesday. Unless anything happens, then hopefully it doesn't. But we won't be around on Monday, but stay tuned to us on Tuesday. Look for us on Tuesday, and then we should have something up in store.
Right.
Oh, what's the topic about? Well, we're still thinking about that. Actually, we're still thinking about what
Stay
Tuesday's
tuned,
topic
stay
will be.
tuned,
Yeah,
stay
stay tuned.
tuned.
Or if you have an idea on what kind of topic you want us to talk about, leave a comment. You know, we are on YouTube right here. You just leave a comment on our YouTube section, and then we will hear you out, and then we might even consider it.
Yep.
Yeah, otherwise, you know, if you love this episode, well, don't forget to like it, subscribe to us, and of course, share this with your friends and family.
Alright, so that's all from us today, folks, and we'll see you soon enough. So, once again, happy Friday and bye-bye.
Bye. This has been Aaron and Surya.
Surya.
Bye.